Welcome to Madeira. I just arrived here yesterday. 2 flights through Porto. My name is Mark, by the way. Starting in Barcelona, having a lunch in Porto very quickly yesterday, and I'm here on Madeira to do a week-long hike. Spent my first night in a comfortable Airbnb on the west point of the island, Ponta do Pargo. And today we're going to hike along the west side of the island to the start of the Madeira Ultimate Trail. Started the day with a bit of rain, but it's looking to clear up. And as you can see, it's very hilly and very green here. It's going to be an amazing week. Yesterday after arriving, took a taxi to buy the last supplies that I couldn't bring on the flight, such as cooking gas. And then my taxi driver took me to the other side of the island where I needed to finish my day. We made friends, and then the taxi driver decided to give me a free extra tour, taking me to the viewpoint to watch sunset together. So already on day one we're making friends. It was very nice. The cliffs here at this side of the island are very impressive, several hundred meters drop. So for those of us who have vertigo, don't go too close to the edge because it's a bit scary. But yeah, let's hope it's gonna be a nice day. Just had my coffee and breakfast here in the village, and tonight we'll end up in a couple of other villages where my next Airbnb is waiting for me. Camping on Madeira is tricky because there's no campings. There are official campsites with no facilities, but you have to ask a permit to stay there. And seeing that I booked this trip pretty last minute, they were pretty much all fully booked, except for the one night where there is no Airbnb hotel or any of the sorts where I'm going to be stopping. And for that one, fortunately, I did get a permit. But it's very important that you follow those rules, because if they catch you wild camping here on Madeira, apparently the fine is about 2,000 euros. So I don't like taking that kind of risks, so I decided to play it safe. Everything is well prepared for the week. I got my backpack with me. Surprisingly only weighs about 12 kilos, despite the fact that I have a tent and camp stuff with me for that one night. But yeah, we're good to go. Got my new hiking poles, not because I'm a beginner, but because I lost my previous ones on the metro in Barcelona. And by the end of this trip, I'm probably gonna need new boots as well, because I've walked so many miles in the last 3-4 years that they're starting to wear off. But for this trip, they'll do fine. So yeah, enjoy this journey with me, and see you later. So that's where the journey started. Some cows here. Look at that view. That's the Atlantic Ocean over there. And right now we're looking roughly in the northwest direction. So not much out there, apart from Madeira itself. Let's carry on. Just look at that waterfall. I don't know how high that is, but it's a lot. So the route today I'm doing between the two main villages is just over 20 kilometers. and then I have to do a few more kilometers to the next little village where my Airbnb is. And of course this route didn't start in the village where I woke up this morning, so that adds another 1 to 2 kilometers. And then there's all these miradors, viewpoints on the way. This one was 700 meters to get to, so adding more distance. But my god, it's worth it. Just look at these views. It is absolutely breathtaking here. Very happy with the clouds. This will be not too hot today. Tomorrow I might get myself showered during the hike because the prediction is not too great, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I've got some waterproof gear with me, so but wow. But let's carry on. Got a lot of kilometers to cover. So I took a wrong street, but that's okay. But then I run into this guy over here, or girl I should rather say, it seems, who started following me around for a while, and now she's leading the path. So I'm guessing she's a stray dog in the village here, who is just happy to have some company. Hello there, lady. Where are we going? You're gonna show me around the island. Well, let's see where she takes us. So on this side of the island, it seems half of this village, if not more, is this kind of abandoned old little houses or sheds. Hello, buddies. Now there's 3 of you. It's starting to get a bit crowded here. But yeah, surprising to see so much abandoned property. Oh yeah, and everywhere it seems to have these CMC fountains where you can get free water. I guess they belong to the municipality or the communal government of the island's villages here, which is great because you don't have to carry a lot of water with you. The taxi driver also showed me yesterday there has been a lot of fires recently on the island, and yeah, I saw that this morning as well. Some patches, shrubs and forests burned down, but even fence poles on farmland and gardens and some of these abandoned houses that were just burned down. But then in between there's these wonderful houses. Imagine living here with an Atlantic Ocean view. Just living your life. What a paradise. And look at that. So wonderful. Absolutely stunning. And every road here is full of these flowers. They just grow here in the wild. Very nice. I'm only 2 hours in and I'm already enjoying this trip more than I imagined. So right now I'm at the second viewpoint of the day, and although they're not part of the route, it's impossible to skip them because it's one of the best parts of the whole hike today. Got a landmark over here. As you can see behind me, lots of low vegetation, and that's partly because this is one of those places that burned down not too long ago, it seems, because there's signs of burned wood in between the vegetation. And have a look at this view. I'll flip you guys around. That is where we're heading. That cliff over there looks like nothing but a pile of dirt. Can't be super stable, but somehow it's been here for a long time. There's a fence here, so we're quite safe. And look at that down there. Tiny boat in the distance. That's the horizon on the ocean. Beautiful clouds. Look at that beach down there. And And then that is somewhere over there was the previous viewpoint. I see the same church again, it seems. I think we were somewhere near that antenna. What a view. And the sun is out now, so it's starting to get warm. And then here somehow are these, I guess they're sand bees of some sorts. They're not really willing to sit still, so it's hard to get a clear shot, but I don't know if you can hear them, but there are hundreds of them coming out of these little holes, and they're buzzing, making quite a bit of noise. And I'm not sure what they're up to, but they're just buzzing around looking for food, I suppose. So yeah, just catching my breath here for a few minutes, and then we're going further on with the trek. What a day, and what an island. So I just climbed up from the coastline, another viewpoint which I didn't visit because it was very close to the other one and it didn't look too exciting. Past a little church, and then I had to climb what is one of the steepest roads I've passed. And now we're more or less in the clouds. So, as you can see, the ocean blew over the cloud, which is now passing over the island on this side, and we're literally walking in the cloud. Besides all the abandoned houses which look a bit dodgy and not too waterproof to go into or closed off, I came across this bus stop. So in case it rains, you might get lucky and find one of these to hide in. It's a nice little house, waterproof roof, so yeah. But oof, that was a tough climb. Now we go on a bit more uphill, and then the rest of the day should be along this height and then downhill to the finish. Just came across this little guy who was sitting on the road, all shy, shivering. Not sure what's wrong with him, but I can't help him much. So we're just gonna carefully put him back in the vegetation where he's safer and hope he's gonna be okay. Look at that tail. So tiny. Camera's having a little bit of the difficulty focusing. He's so small. Hello, what's your name? Oh, he's gorgeous. Poor little buddy. Maybe this is his home. Seems the island is full of them because I've heard mice everywhere. Yeah, he goes inside. And I saw about 4 or 5 falcons this morning. Oh, you're back outside. Hello. Poor little fellow, where are you going? You have to be more careful. And I guess this is one of their main meals, especially if they're out in the open, running onto roads, and he's just scurrying around. But he seems to be energetic and moving fine, so I think he'll be okay. There's another mouse hole down there. How cool is this? Yeah. Well, have a good life, buddy. I'm moving on. So now that we're a bit higher up, we changed vegetation. We're in a relatively green forest, although not much coverage from the trees. Very nice up here. Blue, cloudy skies. And following this main road now for a while. Got about 2 more kilometers to go uphill, but the steep part is over. And surrounded by sounds of nature, birds, mice. There's millions of frogs on the island, and here water everywhere, so I'm enjoying every minute of it. So, still going up. Sometimes it feels like walking around in a tropical greenhouse in the sense of all the vegetation here and the humidity. But it seems that part of these flowers along the road are planted by people of the island, because I just came past a section where an area was clearly freshly hand planted by men, all new plants, small ones, but I think it's really nice they do this. I'm not sure, because there was plenty of nature here already, but it's a nice addition. And yeah, I mean, it's wonderful here. Blue sky again, clouds have gone for the moment, and so green here. This is one of the main roads we're following on this side of the island. So about every 2 minutes there's a few cars passing. Feels relatively busy, but it's okay. And in case you don't know it, in the meantime, here goes one of those cars. In the meantime, on my hike, I'm carrying a small garbage bag with me. And I try to pick up whatever rubbish I see on the road to help this island stay nice and clean as it should be. Unfortunately, people stop along the road sometimes and feel it's necessary to throw out their rubbish from their snacks and drinks. But I will try to be different and make the island better than how I found it. So I reached one of the intermediate villages on the route where I hope to find lunch. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a huge kite, a bird of prey, flying over the village. I'll have to look up later what it is, but it's got quite the wingspan. And it's just hovering here over our heads, together with the swifts that are flying here frequently. And yeah. What a village. Look at that green view, hills, and then the sea. Very nice. So let's see if I can get rid of this rubbish I collected. Got about 5 plastic bottles, a can or so, 3, 4, 5 maybe, and about 25 packs of cigarettes, empty ones, and snack wrappers. So yeah, bag full of crap, but and all that in just 5 kilometers between 2 villages. It's a pity, but at least it's now no longer in nature. Alright, not quite there yet, but making progress. Just left Santa Maria da Madalena on my way to Porto Moniz, which is the next major village on the coast, which means we're going to go all the way down, and I'm treated to this view of the north side of the island, which is where we'll be coming back to again and again the coming days, going through the mountains. And then once we reach Pont Moniz, we'll have a little break there, I think, and then finally move to Ribeira de Janela, which is where I'll be spending the night, which is funnily also the place where a lot of people start the trail, I think. But yeah, I added this day extra because I had the time and wanted to see this side of the island. So I've done a full circle of the island at the end of this trip, although not all of it on foot, of course. I started with a taxi ride on the whole south coast, almost. And look at that. That's the town, with another small rocky island with a lighthouse on top of it. And we're gonna make our way all the way down there. Oh, this is the way down, and I don't know if you can see it, but for those with a sharp eye, somewhere there in the distance on the horizon is the island of Madeira. So we're heading down still from the cliff on this old path. You know that probably. And we came from up there and then past the bend somewhere all the way up there. It's crazy how steep it is here. Also the path is very steep, and I got these very green ferns everywhere. The sound of the waves is getting closer and closer. But I can tell you, after 20-25 kilometers, this is very tough on the calves. My legs are starting to shake a bit, but I'll be fine. I've got my sticks and taking it easy, but this is not easy. But it could be worse. We could be going uphill, but we'll find out tomorrow how that goes, because we're probably doing something similar. So the last part of the path seems to be very old stairs like this. And my goodness, they're steep. Can't wait to reach the beach. So I made it down to Pont Moniz. Time to have a beer here. Give my legs a little bit of a break. It's quite the descent from up there all the way at the peak. And now we're going to enjoy ourselves a little bit. But let's have a look. Those colors of the ocean, black rocks, beautiful blue water, very unfriendly looking rocks, by the way. The island is volcanic, so everything here is razor sharp. And then there is this lovely little island, which has quite a unique color compared to the black rocks around it. But yeah. So glad I made it here. They build a swimming pool with natural seawater. It's quite a fascinating sight. I prefer the pure nature, but it's a bit impossible to access here for a swim. So, on the last climb up to Ribeira, just look at that coastline. Mind-blowing. Reminds me a bit of the island where Luke from Star Wars went into, hiding, with all these cliffs and little islands. Very cool landscape here. Got about 5 kilometers left. which will put the total of 30 today. Let's carry on. I'm guessing that since they built the tunnel, this road is hardly ever used again by anyone, although the tarmac's new. But geez, look at these boulders that came down from up there. If that hits you, say goodbye to yourself or your car, or both, because these aren't to mess with. Fortunately, we should be fine walking here for now. Just look at those rocks. Defying the ocean currents. We're slowly eating away at them over the millions of years. Nobody knows for how long they're gonna be here. It's incredible. I have to check the map, but I have a suspicion I'm going to go up there. And not sure what is this down there, some hydroelectricity maybe. Look at that beach. And we can go for a little feet in the ocean here. So we made it down to the valley, the last valley before we go up to Ribeira, and this is one of those campsites where you're only allowed to stay if you have requested a permit, which I was too late for. So, but it looks like full of campers. I don't know if they have the permit or not, doesn't matter. But before I go up to this tough looking climb, I am going to check out these caves here. And behind this giant rock is the islands you just saw, and I want to put my feet in the ocean, so it's time for one last highlight experience before we climb up to the Airbnb. And it seems to be quite the popular spot here, so but it's 5:20 in the afternoon, so let's see how busy it is here. Parking lot looks pretty full, but yeah, the beach looks rocky, and I saw some people from above, but not too overly crowded, so will be just nice to cool my feet and relax for a little bit before we do the last walk up, which will probably take me an hour. But geez, these rocks, it's a brave thing to park your car here, because just like the other spot, this is a place where rocks could just come crashing down, I think. As that one over there is clear evidence of. And it's not alone, there's a bunch of them. And yeah, this guy here, it's a clear sign that it does rain rocks here sometime. Let's have a look in here, pitch dark. But it's a tunnel to the other side. Now that is something we are going to explore. Tired or not, I don't care. We're here only once, so let's see where this goes. I'll catch up with you on the other side. Well, I can confirm now that there is in fact light at the end of the tunnel, given that you exit said tunnel while it's still daytime. But let's see what we find here, because it's a surprise for me as much as it is for you. Wow. This must be an old coastal road, and it does splash here a bit, so there's more tunnel going, but this is not where we're heading today, so let's have a look around and then turn back. Oh, that was a close one. This ocean is not messing around here. Couple of rocks. One of the islands we saw before. And those are some of the towns we'll visit later this week. Opa! Incredible. Wow. Alright, let's go back in the tunnel. Well, we're at the beach, the Atlantic Ocean, and as a marine biologist, of course, I couldn't resist coming here, and I had to dip my feet in the water, so had a little bit of a careful walk to the water over there and let some waves roll over me. But there's no way you can swim here. It's way too wild. That piece of rock over there came off the mountain at some point. So yeah, it's cliffs, you know. The water is nice, it's not even that cold, so if the water was accessible you could actually swim here, but there's no way you can get in without getting smashed to bits by the waves. And my hair is a mess thanks to the hat I was wearing. But yeah, wow. Look at this place, it's fantastic. Back there, where we came from, some other tourists. It's not too busy here, and they're building all these stacked stones on the beach here. There's hundreds of them. Tourist attraction thing, I guess. And everyone has to build one, of course. Not me, but they're looking kind of cool. At least they don't bother anything nature-wise. So yeah, what a day. So I'm gonna rest here a bit and then walk up into the hills, find my place for the night. See you guys later.